Hello and welcome to our channel once again. This is Universal Heritage Television Niger. We're happy to bring to you our breakfast show, Daybreak Niger. And I have as my guest today, Ikenna Onuoha. Ikenna Onuoha is Special Advisor Media to PDP governorship candidate in Imo State, Senator Samuel Nnemeka Anyanwu. Ikenna, you are welcome to our program.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for having me.
My name is Afam Echi. Please remember to give us thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube platform. Now, my guest is going to respond to some issues in his party. Some issues, arising from some disagreements. People hold a lot of impressions about the PDP in Imo State as at moment. And I'm sure he is in the right position to do justice to some of this. Let me start with this matter of defections, and what it holds for your candidate, Senator Anyanwu. Key stakeholders in the party has left recently, some key legislators, and much recently, the State Working Committee members, about 7 of them jumped ship to join the ruling APC, in what came as a surprise to so many political observers. Do you not think that impedes the chances of your candidate, of your principal, to clinch the governorship position?
All right, first of all, I want to thank your listeners and those who will also pay attention to listen to what I'm saying today. Defection, as you know, has been a normal thing in politics. And it only happens when election is by the corner.
Okay.
That is how politicians behave. And when defection occurs, it shouldn't be seen as something that is so surprising. Because before now, we have read stories of presidents defecting and resigning from party. We have read stories of deputy governors, commissioners, ministers, ambassadors resigning from their positions. So if a member of a political party resigns from a party, it's not a new thing. Perhaps that person is leaving a position for another person to contribute his or her own quota. You never know the importance of someone until you give that person an opportunity to, function in that capacity. So, such defection coming up now that the election is by the corner is not really problematic.
Okay.
It's usual.
Okay.
It's very, very usual. Even in APC, we have received lots of them coming into PDP in Ungobala and in other part of the state. Okay. So it's not a new thing.
Yeah, it may not be a new thing, we are aware. But when you look at the status of people who are leaving, do you not think they have some followership that they will go with to the other party?
Who are the people that you are talking about?
Yeah, I mentioned earlier on here some legislators at the national level.
Okay, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Most of these legislators that left PDP for APC, most of them try to come back.
After defecting?
No, they try to come back to be re-elected again by their constituents.
Okay.
They participated in different party primaries and they failed. So if these people are relevant, if they are politically important in their respective constituencies, why did they not fail?
Okay.
So it is not a minus to PDP because we may have expunged those who are not important to our party. Because if they are relevant, I don't think they would have failed the primaries, let alone the general election.
Okay. Now, do you suspect a sabotage? Drawing from the fact, the manner the people, especially the State Working Committee, at a critical moment you are going into election. This is a campaign period. And you have 7 members of the State Working Committee who are supposed to champion the election itself, the campaign, jumping ship. Now, do you suspect sabotage coming from anywhere?
My brother, PDP is an entity. It can sue and be sued. Before now, leaders, PDP local government chairmen, PDP youth leaders in the 27 LGAs in the state, PDP Elders Council had written petitions to the National Working Committee of PDP, appealing to the national body to look into allegations that borders on misappropriation of party funds and conversion of party properties to personal use. And the petitions also urge the National Working Committee to dissolve the state chapter of PDP. And you know that the PDP governorship candidate in this is an Imo son, Senator Samuel Nnemeka Anyanwu.
Yeah.
They also persuaded him to prevail on his colleagues to ensure that the state working committee of the party was dissolved as at that time. But as a man who understands the principles of administration and who does not witch hunt anybody because of the position he is occupying, rather allowed peace to reign by constituting a reconciliation committee in order to bring everybody on a round table and discuss the issue instead of finding the ember of discord. But unfortunately, betrayal and sabotage is a natural thing. It is inherent in some people's lives. So there is no way you will continue to protect a man who has a record of betrayal, who has a record of sabotage, to continue to remain on the same ship with you. Because of what? That particular thing that is inherent in him will definitely show at a given time.
Okay. Now, this brings me to this question. The allegations are flying all over the place that your candidate destroyed PDP, that he frustrated Ihedioha, the governorship candidate, out of the governorship aspirant in your party, out of the party, and that led to people living in droves. How true is this? To what extent can one say this is right?
My brother, they
said he used his position as the chief scribe of the party.
In a society we live into today, and with the advent of social media, you can easily and completely regulate social media and speculations. It is quite laughable for somebody, and it's an embarrassment, it's an insult to the person of Right Honorable Ihedioha if anyone should speculate that he was frustrated out of the party, or he was frustrated from running or contesting that position. Let me tell you, and you are aware, that few days or few weeks to the primary election of the party, governorship primaries, Right Honorable Ihedioha wrote a letter and personally signed that he would not be interested again to continue with the primary election or to participate in the primary election. And the letter was acknowledged. So if somebody should write a letter and signed without any inducement, without any threat, without any whatever, how would somebody now come out, someone that has a very clear mind, come out to say that a person of Right Honorable Ihedioha was frustrated? No, it is not true, and he was not frustrated. It's just that maybe he looked at the scenario and discovered that he was not going to win. Because these politicians, they are so funny sometimes. Thank you.
Okay. Now, if you feel the pulse of Imo people, there is this yearning, there is this demand that Imo needs a breath of fresh air. Let me use that phrase. That Imo needs a breath of fresh air. That Imo needs a savior. That Imo needs to have something different. Now, do you think your candidate fits the bill to do the magic Imo people need?
The answer is absolutely yes. Why?
Yes.
In Imo State today, societies, local government communities have been deserted as a result of insecurity. A few days ago, I was watching some stories on the social media, and I saw where one of the most popular activists in the state and a practicing on-air personality individual, that is Nonsonkwa, yes. You know him?
Yes.
He alleged that the sitting governor, Governor Rochas Hope Uzodinma rather, contracted the Dokubo. I hope you have seen the video, and I'm aware, it's on the social media, yeah, that the insecurity is being fueled by them, that the killings in the state are masterminded by these people. You know, going by the previous utterances of Dokubo, yeah, concerning Igbos, yeah, that weighing the whole option, that there is every clear evidence that he could have, or he may be the one behind the insecurity in the state. So, Sam Dadi is the only person that every Imo-lite, every Imo person, Imo indigene, is really rooting for. Why? Because a government that fails to protect the lives and property of the citizens has failed totally. Because life, right to live, is the first provision, yeah, in the Constitution. Because for somebody to enjoy other infrastructures, other dividends of democracy, that person must be alive to enjoy them. So if the government has failed to protect lives and properties in the state, yeah, has that government not failed? So how will you convince Imo people to continue to vote for that person that is unable, incapable of protecting their lives? So recall when PDP was in power in the state, there was no violence, no crisis, no killings, no rascality, no thuggery, no election malpractice, no violence, no hijack of election ballot boxes. But today, what we are experiencing is quite abnormal and an irony, an opposite of what we experienced when PDP was in power. So Igbo people are yearning, very consistently yearning for a return of PDP in the state. Perhaps they have seen life in that party. And you cannot talk about PDP coming to power without talking about the governorship candidate of the party. So in that respect, the governorship candidate of the party, Senator Samuel Nnemeka Anyanwu, has what it takes, which is anchored on his principle, on the vision of his campaign.
Yeah, which is
let's make Imo safe again. Because the only thing that somebody will do to bring peace in the state is when the state is safe. When the state is safe, there will be economic boom. When the state is safe, people will not continue to cry and fight among themselves. When the state is safe, the civil servant will receive their salaries as at when due. When the state is safe, the pensioners will not be crying again. In fact, some pensioners are afraid to come out from their respective LGAs to the state for fear of being killed, possibly by stray bullets. That is the situation we have found ourselves in the state today. So, what again?
Yeah, well, this is really very, very disturbing for our state, you know. And if you look at what is happening, let's move to the national level. If you look at what is happening, the new government that we have gotten, you know, under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what specifically, you know, would you recommend? What agenda would you want to set for him? One single agenda you think that can affect Nigerians and turn things around?
All right, my brother, the matter is still in court, and I'm a PDP member, and I think we are still in court. I'm not going to say anything on that. I wouldn't want to preempt what an issue that is still in court. Until court dispenses judgment, that is when we will now stand a position to make comment on that. Yeah.
So you are likely that the situation can go
I wouldn't know. The court will interpret.
That's very interesting. Okay, you see, looking at, we are in the rainy season. You know where you come from. I don't know what the roads look like. The state government has been telling us that one of the things they have done very, very well in this state is road infrastructure. There is so much hype on road infrastructure. And a lot of Imo people are complaining that the roads are bad. We are aware the state government has focused on the 3 major roads to, you know. So what are your thoughts about the government claims on the road infrastructure and what is the reality and what the reality is on ground?
As far as I'm concerned, the government of APC has never constructed any road in the state. The Olu Road...
Why do you think so?
Excuse me, the Olu Road, Okigwe Road are federal government roads.
Okay.
And those roads, when Uzodimma claimed that he has constructed those roads,
yes,
he has refused to tell Imo people that the federal government has reimbursed over 30 billion to the state government.
The 3 roads?
And the immediate...
These roads that we are...
Yes, that federal government has paid back the government of Muhammadu Buhari before he left office. And they immediately resigned or escaped former publicity secretary of PDP in the state, Collins Oprozo, once accused.
Why did you say resign?
That is
why did you say?
That is what the party. That is what the party chairman, Junior Charles Uku, addressed. He said that they are escapees. So I'm borrowing the language from him, that they are escapees. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So what am I saying? He once accused the government of Hope Uzodimma of using 84-point-something billion to construct 44-kilometer roads.
Okay.
And in his own analysis, he said that if he used 84-point-something billion to construct 44 kilometers, that means each kilometer goes for 2-point-something billion. So in that situation, you can now see the situation. The state is shying away from telling Imo people that the federal government has paid back the money that was invested in the construction of these roads. And he's still laying claim that the state government constructed those roads. These are federal roads. And as far as I am concerned, the government of Hope Uzodimma has never constructed any road in the state. The ones that were constructed, Olu Road, Okigwe Road, and that of MBC Road, are all federal government roads. And those roads have been reimbursed.
Okay.
Federal government has reimbursed the state government. So they should stop claiming that they constructed road. What happens to our rural roads? I don't even know if you can access your village now. Of course, you cannot access it. Why can't government go to villages and construct those roads? Why is the government of Uzodimma continuing to run around the state capital? So does it mean that in his village that he has not identified any bad road there? So this, you can see the level of deceit. You can see the level of deceit. So Imo people are really, we have gone past those deceit, and we cannot continue to pre-sing for someone who is a monumental failure.
Okay, insecurity is still a very big challenge in Imo State. Just like you rightly observed, nothing can work when there is no safety.
That is why the PDP government is coming in power, to make Imo safe. And I'm aware that there are some communities in this Imo State that are being closed down automatically. That even when you go to those communities, you won't even see any youth, any average youth, any youth that is up to 20 years. That is, it's been on the news because of insecurity. Because they are now what the state government is pursuing. Through the allegation levied against the state government that they are using a Bobago. I wouldn't know what happened. But the issue, I'm from Olo, and I know what is happening in our state, in our area. Every Monday, everywhere is deserted. And there are some communities you cannot even access on daily basis, not only on Mondays. So if the governor is from Olo zone, and the same zone is in crisis, is at war, the same zone, the insecurity has totally ravaged the whole zone, including his local government, Oru East. Why will he now come out and claim to have done well as a governor when he cannot rescue the people from his area? And if a governor of a state can walk around the state, driving around the state with armor tank and fleet of security men, doesn't that show you that the state has totally collapsed? That insecurity has taken over the whole state? Then if a governor could afford such a humongous security apparatus, what happens to an average Imolite? Don't you think that journalists are now at risk practicing their profession? Because they are now targeted.
Yeah.
Because they are the ones who are exposing this injustice, this criminality in the state.
Yeah.
And they are now targeted either for humiliation, for embarrassment, or for elimination, just like we have said. Yeah. So you can see that we are in a very bad situation currently in the state.
Okay, well, maybe this is the much we can take. We may need to invite you some other time so we can.
Thank you. I thank you for this privilege.
Yeah, but before we go, we want a parting word from you to Imolites. You know.
My word to Imolite is that Imo people should shine their eyes. They should not allow the money bags politicians to deceive them once again. Because if, of course, Imo people say they did not vote for the person who is claiming to be the governor of the state. Yeah. So I wouldn't accuse them of voting a wrong person. But now that they have known and they have confessed that they didn't vote anyone, this time around, they should open their eyes and vote for the person that will protect their interests. And by so doing, Imo State will be safe again.
Okay, thank you so much for coming to the program. Viewers, this is the much we can take from this program. And Ikenna Onuoha, special advisor to PDP governorship candidate on media, that is Senator Samuel Nemeka Anyanwu. He has told us here in this particular program that the defections occurring in his party is not an issue for the governor to emerge. And he has also told us that most communities are deserted because of insecurity, and life has not been meaningful to many Imolites. He said his candidate is the one that is going to do the magic by making Imo safe again. And we also had him say that Imo people should shine their eyes come November 11. That's the much we can take from this program. My name again is Afam H. Please remember to like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube platform.